Okay folks, in this video we're going to show you how to create a Christmas greeting card in Figma. Really basic two-state interactive prototype here. So you can see the first screen is a greeting, and you can click anywhere around here and then see the message. And then you can click back to kind of go back and see what the first screen looks like. So let's build it. In the file here I have two different frames. One is your intro, and the other one is the main message. So to build something like this, I'm going to go ahead and create my own frame. I'm going to hit F, and then over here I'm going to go to Phone and do iPhone 8. This is a nice smaller size. I don't know, how everyone's phones have gotten so big, but this will center properly if you're like on an iPhone X or something like that. But for the smaller phones, this is a nice size. All right, we need to put together some messaging here. And the font I used for this was called Tangerine. It's a nice script font. So I'm going to go ahead and say something like Happy Holidays. You can say Merry Christmas or whatever denomination you want to use. I'll hit Control Enter or Command Enter to say that I'm finished editing. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and center line the text. And because you want to have something that kind of pops out from the background image here, I'm going to give a little rectangle behind this. So I've got this selected. I'm going to hit R and draw this out to make sure the text is now above it. Let's check our sizing here. So let's do maybe 40. So I'm going to put the text down a little bit. I'm going to move it to the right with my arrow keys. And so now we need to add 10 to the width so we can get 40 all around. So I've got this thing selected. I'll go here to the width and I'll do plus 10. Hit enter. So down below here, I just need to remove 2. So for the height, I'm just going to go ahead -2. Okay, so we're all centered there. I'm going to need to move this around this as a group. So to do that, I'm going to make sure I have both these selected. I'm going to hit Control or Command G. These are now grouped. Cool. So I want to snap this so you can see right there, it's center aligned. Great. And I'm not going to have it perfectly in the center because I'm going to have a little arrow down here to let people know that they can click on something. So I'm going to go there and do that. So in the file here, you can grab the arrows I have. If you want to find something else, you can go to the noun project. That's the noun project.com. And I'll search for arrow. All right, this looks like a good one for us to try out. I'm going to go ahead and grab the SVG. It's going to save a file for us. Okie dokie. I'm going to go ahead and bring that in. So I'll go here and I'll look for, I'm going to type place. So place image. Okay, now it's going to look at our downloads. And now it's got this cursor right here, and this will tell me where I can place it. So I'm just going to go right there. Okay, this is a little bit big for what we need here. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this little chain icon right here says constrained proportions. When that is activated, that will make sure that if I adjust the width, the height will also go to the same. So let's go and do 43. Okay, not bad. Now, I'm not going to adjust the color on that yet because I need to see the background image we're going to use. So to do this, let's go head over to Unsplash and figure out what kind of Christmas imagery we want to use. That's unsplash.com. These are royalty free, and I'm going to go ahead and do. And royalty free means you can use these in any of your projects. You probably need to give credit to the artist if you actually use these in commercial properties or projects. So I'm going to do Christmas. Okay. this is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and I'll see if I can just copy the image. See if that'll work for us instead of downloading everything. I'm going to try to just hit Command V or Control V for paste. Right, that is, oh, it worked. Okay, pretty big. So I'm going to zoom out. You can hit Shift or just hit the minus versus plus in your keyboard. So you can see the constraints here are pretty big. I'm going to click on this corner, and while I do that, I'm going to hit Shift so that when I drag this around, I'm not going to resize it awkwardly. So I hit Shift and then start resizing. I'm going to click this and grab this. Okay, that's a decent size right there. Okay, gotta make sure it's inside here. Okay, cool. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and put this above the image. Okay, let's zoom back into our work. I'm going to hit Shift 2. Okay, very cool. So this is shaping together nicely. I'm going to go ahead and give this a rectangle here, a white background. Okay, and let's go ahead and take the color of the font and maybe just match around a little bit what we're seeing here. There we go. If I just put straight black, it would work, but kind of matching this to the background colors is kind of nice. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a drop shadow. So I'm going to go to Effects, hit plus. We have a drop shadow now. Now there's a basic drop shadow here that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and add another one. And I'm going to customize this one. Let's give this one no offset. And let's go and make this about 30. And you can't tell that it's there because like they're pretty subtle with their drop shadows. I'm going to make it a little more obvious. So I'm going to make this around, say, 80 to make sure I really see it. Okay, I can really see it now. Let's make this around 50. Okay. And then let's drop this down to 40. That was a little more subtle. All right, so just kind of looking at what this looks like. For the effects here, it just pops a lot more that way. All right, for this, let's go inside here. And one of the things you're going to notice is I can drill down deeper into this and just grab these elements right here. But what's kind of cool is like at the very top level, I can just see this thing called selection colors. And that's going to just basically adjust all the colors inside of this to be the same. So I'm going to make that white. And I'm going to make it a little more subtle and blend in a little bit. So I'm going to go to the layer here and adjust the opacity. So I'm going to make that, let's make it 50 to start. See what that looks like. Okay, too subtle for us. Let's go and make that 80. There we go. I like that. Let's give this a little more style to the rectangle here. Let's do a stroke. And so it's inside. Let's make it 4. And let's try some of the colors around it. So let's grab this, go to the color picker. That looks a little better. Okay, I like it. Let's move on to our next one. So I can just click this. I'm going to hit Control D or Command D, and that just duplicates what we have here. I'm going to remove the background image. I'm going to give this a color. So right here I have the entire frame is selected. I go to the fill. Let's grab what we got from here. You can see the color picker zooms in really nicely here. Okay, I have that. I'm going to remove the background image or the background rectangle. The font's still there. Let's go ahead and make that white. And let's say something like let's see here. Okay, looks like it's got too much copy there. A couple ways you can resize this. I'm going to hover my mouse over here. You can see the resize to the side. To make things zoom in, or like to make it resize equally on both sides, I'm going to hit Option while I do this. So Option, then I click, and there you go. Resizes nicely. Okay, it's a bit large for what I want. I'm going to drop the font size down to 60. There we go. I'm going to, so that people know they can go and click back to the previous screen. For this right here, I'm going to flip it around 180 degrees. There you go. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some text here. I'll just say text, or it says test, cool. Open sans doesn't look too bad here, so I'm going to go to the text. I'll type in open, there we go, open sans, and we will make this, I don't know, let's try 16, maybe 18 size, and then let's go ahead and make the color white. Already we're getting it's too wide for us. So you could obviously just grab here, and I'm not going to center align this. Like when we get to a paragraph, I tend to make things a little more left aligned. Okay, heartfelt message. We have our copy here, so let's put about 40 pixels in between these. So to sense what I'm doing here, I'm just hitting the Option key as I use my mouse, so I can see how far away everything is. So this is 1. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure everything's center aligned. I'm going to go up here to the alignments. Okay, good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and group it. So I'll hit Command G or Control G. Things are grouped, and now I can move this around. I can snap this to the center. Let's give this a little bit extra texture. I'm going to go ahead and go to the fill here. I'm going to add a little bit of a gradient. Cool. So it did it for me, and I'm going to go ahead and make this not just a normal blend. I'll do an overlay. Okay, that works, and I'm going to go ahead and make this one right down here actually dark. Okay. All right, these are both no opacity, light to dark, pretty extreme, so I'm going to go ahead and drop this down to about 50, and that way it's a bit more subtle. Okay. You can go back to the Noun project and grab more of these icons right here. Let me go ahead and do that right now. Let's grab a, I don't know. Let's grab a car, because we're basically saying, sorry, we can't see this year because of COVID. road trip car. Go ahead and let's go back here and type in place. Okay, place image. Great. And it's going to pop up the selection. Oh, there we go. I was working too fast. Pardon me. Let's wait for it to pop up that window again. This can be a little slow. Okay, here we go. Got the car. Put it right here. Okay, that's in line. Okay. Bump this stuff down a little bit. Okay, I'll add this into the group. Okay, so now we can, everything's all centered. Okay. Let's put the card down a little bit here. Okay. And then for the car, we're going to do the selection colors instead of diving deep into the folder. Let's go ahead and make it white. Cool. I'm going to do a little trick here. I'm going to make this thing overlay so you can see it's now kind of bluish. It's kind of working with the color below it. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the layer like 50. Okay, so let's wire this together. We're going to make the entire screens clickable. So for this, we're going to go into prototype. We have this screen selected. Let's go ahead and name the screen really quickly. I'm going to hit Control or Command R, and let's call this just number 1, and then we'll call this number 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and prototype this. I'm going to grab the little circle here and just make sure it clicks to number 2. So navigate to 2. Now let's make the animation dissolve, so it's a little smooth. And then we'll do the same thing with this. Make sure we have screen 2 selected. Click the plus button, drag over to screen 1, and same thing, it'll dissolve. So let's go ahead and preview this. Because I have my other animation set up here, I'm going to drag this down here so we know that this will be the starting point when we preview our animation. Okay, let's go ahead and click the play button. Take a second for things to load up. Here we go. Happy holidays. Click anywhere on the screen. And here's our message. And click back. And they can just go back and forth and back and forth. Now, this tutorial is designed to give you an opportunity to create animated Christmas cards for your loved ones during the holidays. The best way to share this with people, you can basically grab this link, send it to them, and they'll see all of this, except they won't see the iPhone in the background. They'll just see this kind of cool image on their phone. You want to go up here to Share Prototype. I remove the Show Hotspots on Hotspot Hints on Click because it just covers the entire screen. And then I go to Share Prototype, and I'm going to say anyone with the link can view, okay? And then you copy the link. This is how you send this stuff to people. And if you check on this, go do that. And it loads right up. Now we're logged in, so we're going to see this, but if we're on a phone, we would see just the content right here. And that's the goal, is to do this kind of thing for the people in your life that are special. Okay, so the link to this file will be below the video here, and you can use all these assets as you like, and have a really nice holiday season.